you get to be an adult like the rest of us, you learn there is no Santa Claus, no Easter Bunny, and no God. But it's just sort of this sociological thing to keep them from, doing terrible, bad things growing up and control them. And so I just at 16 said, I don't know where life and purpose is coming from, but it certainly isn't God, it's certainly not the church, and, maybe somebody created all this. I don't know, I don't have time for it. You're 16, what do you think about? And so I kind of went through, okay, so where's meaning and purpose in life going to come from? And I grew up in the 60s, and then early 70s was hitting adulthood, and my dad was a very focused guy. He was a Marine. I used to say he was an ex-Marine, and after I said that in a talk, a guy came up to me and said, "Excuse me, young man, there's no such thing as an ex-Marine." I said, "Yes, sir." And honestly, I learned that when my father went home to be with the Lord here about 2-3 years ago. The Marines came, and they were a part of that service and folded a flag and gave it to me. He was a Guam, Iwo Jima, Purple Heart guy. But my dad had this very strong, if he said it, you just didn't mess with him. And so it was like, look, son, here's how life works. You want to be happy? Yeah. Then you need to be successful. Okay. You want to be successful? You set clear goals, you develop a strategy, and you work harder than anyone else. You got that? Yes, sir. And so, I was like, okay. So I was that kid who was shoveling snow off the driveway in the middle of winter, because I was going to shoot while other people were watching games. So 8 or 9 hours a day I'm playing basketball. And then I figure it probably has something to do with money and academics. So I worked hard in school, and if you can become a workaholic at 12 or 13, I figured it out. I had my own lawn business, 6 or 7 regular jobs, 1 all-day job, 2 paper routes, lent my parents $3,000 at 6% interest. So they could buy a little piece of land. And then when I got to high school, it was just like, lock and load. Okay, you want to academically be here, you got to date a cute cheerleader, get a scholarship to college, be all this and all that. Now, I didn't get it all done, but basically, when I got to be a senior, had all those little check marks, and, high school's not a really big fish pond, but when you're in it, you think it's pretty big stuff. And so I got my scholarship and did well and had the cute little cheerleader. And I'll never forget the graduation night. I don't know why, I can never remember why, but we were in this apartment and it was completely empty. It didn't have any furniture. And there's 30 or 40 of us sitting in a circle, this is the 70s, okay, passing a joint around and reminiscing. And I didn't inhale, that's a joke for some of you that remember years back. I not only didn't inhale, when you're on a basketball scholarship and you're my size and as skinny as I am, you can't put anything in your body that's going to hurt you. I'm thinking, so I just pass it on. And so no religious conviction. And I just thought, you know what? Everyone's bigger, stronger, and can jump higher than me. I better not mess myself up. And so this gal turns to me that was a good friend. She goes, "Chip, you must be really happy tonight." And I said, "Why?" And she started to peel off this cute little girlfriend, and, you did well in school and got the scholarship. And I had this emotion of the most empty feeling at 18 I'd ever experienced in my life. And I realized someone just shattered my little box. It was, wait a second, happiness is by success. Success is you do this, 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 this. I followed the plan, and I just felt this so this is it? And what's bad is I didn't even celebrate. I didn't even recognize that I'd sort of hit the goals. I had already, like some of us do, gone to the next one. I'd already decided, I'm going to go to college. I'm majoring in political science. I will be a lawyer. I will marry a beautiful wife. We'll have 3 beautiful kids. We'll have an Irish setter. I will have a luxury car. I will wear, back then, a $200 or $300 Armani or Brooks Brothers suit. Was pretty cool. I'll live in the suburbs, and I'll be a leader in the community by the age 32 to 34. And it was just like lock and load. Go do it. And then I had this moment of now wait a second. I did this once. I could go do that and spend the next 15 years. What if I feel even more empty? And I'll never forget driving home, and then later that night having, I'd say, a sort of a God talk. And my prayer was, God, if you exist, reveal yourself to me. I don't know if you do or not, but if you do and you're powerful enough and can reveal yourself to me, I want to know you. And if there's a purpose in life, I'd like to know what it is. A week later, a coach paid my way to a fellowship, a Christian athletes camp, and it was actually a scary experience. I walked in, I got a t-shirt, this little easy-to-read Bible.